Welcome, curios and weirdos. I would like to start off with a trigger warning because today's Grimm Tales gives us a nice little mixture of father wounds, some insane sacrifices to break some generational curses, Freudian complexes galore, and enough royal betrayal to make Game of Thrones look like family counseling. Yeah. Yeah. So let me give you a little sneak peek to what we got going on here today. A king has 12 sons, but when he learns his next child may be a girl, he orders 12 coffins, tiny coffins. Apparently, estate planning was a little bit different back then. I guess they didn't do it like we do it. Okay. They weren't going to keep all the children. So the brothers run, and the sister inherits the guilt. And this family spends years paying for the father's madness. So, guys, grab a seat and get ready to gag, baby. Because today we're reading Grimm's fairy tales 12 brothers. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Wow.
We're going to throw Oreo Jr. back there. And let me give you guys a little briefing for the new people here of what this channel is. So, welcome to the Curious Storyteller, where we take books from yesterday and we revisit them like old friends. We cosplay some of the characters, and we also sit and have conversations about what we talked about. So with that, we're going to get started with the 12 brothers, aka father wounds are us, because it's better, it fits better. There was once a king and a queen who lived together peacefully and had 12 children. Okay, they was busy, who were all boys. One day, the king said to his wife, "If the 13th child you are about to bear is a girl, then the 12 boys must unalive." Mhm, mhm.
Okay.
That's what we doing here. So that her wealth may be great, and that she alone may inherit the kingdom. Let us just pray for a second. Let's just bow our heads and pray and just pray for this story, because child, it's a mess. Lord, help us, because these fairy tales are horror stories for real. Okay, Scott? Are you gonna say amen? Amen, y'all. Yeah, thank you. Okay, let's get going on this. I just want to warn y'all, this is foolishness going on. He had 12 coffins made and filled with wood shavings, and in each one there was a little pillow. Oh, how nice. He had them taken to a locked room, gave the queen the key, and told her not to speak to anyone. Which I'll tell her all, because I will be telling. I'll be like, this man crazy. He trying to, child, I done gave my life trying to give birth to these children, and he trying to take the life I gave, child. But what do y'all think? Because this is a mess. The mother sat all day and grieved, and her youngest son, who was always with her, and whom she called Benjamin, after the Bible, said to her, "Mother dear, why are you so sad?" "Dearest child," she said, "I am not allowed to tell you." But he gave her no peace until she unlocked the room and showed him the 12 coffins full of wood shavings. Then she said, "Dearest Benjamin, your father has had these coffins made for you and your 11 brothers. For if I give birth to a girl, you will all be unalived and buried in them."
Okay.
I have a question. I would like somebody to call on me.
Curio.
What if the baby was a boy? He just wasted money on 12 like those things are expensive.
Okay.
Period. Okay, he got endless money. Got it. She wept as she spoke, and her son comforted her, saying, "Don't cry, mother. Dear, we can take care of ourselves. We'll run away." This might be the only time I think that, kids should run away. This is the one time. Like, this is the one exception for me. I don't know about y'all, but this is my one exception. Like, sir, get the hell out of it. Run 12 children, run. Okay. She said, "Go to the forest with your 11 brothers. Let each of you by turn climb the highest tree you can find and keep watch. If I give birth to a boy, I will raise a white flag on this tower, and then you may come back. But if I give birth to a girl, I shall raise a red flag. Yeah, baby, it's going to be a big red flag. Child, get the hell out of here. Then you must escape as fast as you can, and God keep you. Every night I shall get up and pray for you. In the winter, I shall pray that you find fire to warm yourselves, and in the summer, that you're not wilting in the heat." When she had given him her blessings, her sons went into the forest. They took turns watching the tower from the top of the tallest oak tree. When 11 days had passed, it was Benjamin's turn. He saw a flag going up, and it was not the white one, but the blood red one. Oh, Lord. Proclaiming that they should all unalive. When the brothers heard that, they grew angry and said, "Are we to unalive on a girl's account? We swear to avenge ourselves. Whenever we meet a girl, her red blood will flow." Is anybody else thinking like maybe this, like, sir, the girl ain't the one? She wasn't even born. It's your dad. Yeah, nobody got no smoke for the dad. Nobody got okay. Whatever. Here we go. Generational curse. Then they went deeper into the forest, and right in the middle, where it was the darkest, they found an enchanted hut that no one was living in. "We will live here," they said, "and you, Benjamin, because you are the youngest and the weakest, will stay home and keep the house. The rest of us will go out and get food." So they went into the woods and shot hares and deers and birds and pigeons, anything that was good to eat, period. They brought their meat to Benjamin, who dressed and cooked the meat. And in that way, they stilled their hunger. The mama couldn't have sent them nothing. She the queen.
Still want to get caught?
Yeah. They lived in a hut for 10 years, and the time didn't seem long to them. Oh, that's good. By then, the queen's daughter had grown to be a little girl. She was good of heart and fair of face, and she had a gold star on her forehead. Is that a birthmark, or did y'all get her tattoo? Like, who just has a gold star on their forehead? Once, when a big washing had been done, she saw 12 men's shirts and asked her mother, "Whom do these shirts belong to? They are much too small for father." Her mother answered with a heavy heart, "Dear child, they belong to your 12 brothers." The little girl said, "Where are my 12 brothers? This is the first time I've heard of them." Because our daddy tried to, he don't care about them, I guess, clearly, because he ain't went to look for them or nothing. Like, sir, you just had them coffins built, and okay, just wasting money, wasting the kingdom's money. Anyway, "God only knows where they are," said the queen. "They're out in the world wandering." Then she took the little girl and unlocked the room and showed her the 12 coffins. "Ma'am, why do you keep showing these damn coffins? Like, ma'am, you showing them off like it's your new china cabinet or something. Ma'am, stop showing the coffins. Throw them in the garbage. It's been 10 years." Sorry. Let me get back to this book. But it's just disturbing my spirit.
Yeah.
And show her the 12 coffins with the wood shavings and the little pillows in them. "These coffins," she said, "were meant for your brothers, but they secretly went away before you were born." She told her how it had all come about, and the little girl said, "Mother dear, please don't cry. I shall go and look for my brothers." Girl, you don't want to do that. They don't like girls. So I don't know if you want to do that, ma'am. So she took the 12 shirts and went straight into the big forest. All day she walked, and in the evening she came to the enchanted hut. She went in and saw a young boy who asked her, "Where have you come from? And where are you going?" He was amazed to find her so beautiful, dressed like a queen, with a gold star on her forehead. She answered, "I am the king's daughter, sorry, and I'm looking for my 12 brothers. I shall go as far as the sky is blue until I find them." Okay, girl, she's serious. She ride or die. This ride or die right here. This is for real ride or die.
Yes, it is.
And she showed him the 12 shirts that belonged to them. Then Benjamin knew she was his sister and said, "I am Benjamin, your youngest brother." She wept for joy. And so did Benjamin. And they hugged and kissed on each other ever so lovingly. Aw, aw. But then he said, "Dear sister, there's still a hitch. Long ago, we swore that any girl who crossed our path must unalive because we had to leave our kingdom on a girl's account." How are the sons? See, this is them generational curses and all that foolishness. The son's just as unhinged as the daddy is. Like this is why we got to do better. This is why we got to do better. Huh? King, you got to do better, sir. Start by getting rid of them coffins, sir. Let's do better. Anyway. She said, "I'll gladly unalive if that will save my 12 brothers." It's not going to save. "No," he said, "I don't want you to unalive. Sit here under this tub until my 11 brothers come home. I'm sure I can win them over." She did as he said. And at nightfall, the others came home from the hunt. Their supper was ready, and as they sat at the table eating, they asked, "What's new?" "Haven't you heard?" said Benjamin. "No," they replied. "Well," he said, "you've been out in the woods and I stayed home. Yet I know more than you." "Tell us," they cried. "Do you promise," he said, "not to unalive the first girl who crosses our path?" That is such a strange, random request for gossip. I mean, it's strange that y'all are unalive. Like all of this is just very strange, but it starts with the daddy. The daddy did it. Anyway. "Yes," they all cried, "we shall spare her. Now tell us." Then he said, "Our sister is here." The one that y'all want to unalive. Yeah, she here. He lifted up the tub, and out came the king's daughter dressed like a queen. She had a gold star on her forehead and was ever so beautiful. They were all overjoyed. They hugged and kissed her and loved her with all their hearts. From then on, she stayed in the hut with Benjamin and helped him with his work. The 11 went out into the forest and caught game and deer and birds and pigeons for them to eat, and their sister and Benjamin prepared their meals. She gathered firewood and wild plants and put the pot on the fire so that supper was always ready when the 11 came home. And she kept the house in order. Okay, period. I told y'all she was ride or die. She's serious. And made the beds up white and clean. And her brothers were always content and they lived together in perfect harmony. One day, the two of them prepared a fine meal. When the others came home, they sat down to eat and drink and were full of joy. Now there was a little garden behind the enchanted hut, and in it there were 12 lilies. She wanted to give her brothers pleasure, and so she broke off the flowers, meaning to give each one of her brothers at supper. But no sooner had she broken off the flowers than her 12 brothers were turned into 12 ravens that flew away over the forest. Okay, maybe I'm not doing math right. Okay, so it said, oh, there were 12 lilies. Never mind, I'm not reading right. Never mind. But no sooner had she broke off the flowers than her 12 brothers turned into 12 ravens that flew away over the forest. And in the same moment, the hut and the garden vanished.
Okay.
Random. Just random. Okay, we just doing what we want. The poor girl was left alone in the wilderness. And when she looked around, an old woman was standing behind her. Like, girl, this is just real random. Who is this? Where did the lady come from? They had been there for 10 years and ain't nobody had seen this old woman before until now. Anyway, back to the story. Who said, "My child, what have you done? Why did you leave those 12 flowers alone? They were your brothers, and now they turned into ravens forever." Caw, Sue. That's what I am. I'm a green raven.
Uh,
I'm that so raven.
uh,
Period. Anyway, the girl wept and said, "Is there no way of saving them?" "No," said the old woman. "In all the world, there's only one way." "Ma'am, then why you say no? If there's one way, then that's yes. There's one way. You said no." Let me get back to this story because these people clearly don't understand how to talk. "In all the world, there's only one way, and it's so hard that you can't hope to succeed. For you would have to keep silent for 7 years without speaking and without laughing."
wow.
Mm-hmm. "And if you said a single word, or if a single hour were wanting from the 7 years, all your troubles would be in vain, and that one word would unalive your brothers." Who the hell made these rules? That's what I want to know. Who made up these rules? Where these rules come from? With the flowers, with the I can't talk for 7 years. Who made this up? This is crazy. Then the girl said in her heart, "I know for sure that I'll save my brothers, because if I ain't nothing, I'm a ride or die check." Period. Some of that is written down. The other stuff is not. So y'all figure that part out. Anyway, she picked out a tall tree and climbed up in it. And there she sat spinning. And she neither spoke or smoke. She neither spoke nor laughed. Now, it so happened that a king went hunting in the forest. There's always some king hunting in the forest, child. He had a big greyhound that ran to the tree where the girl was sitting, and he jumped up, yapping and barking. That brought the king to the foot of the tree. He looked up and saw the beautiful princess with the gold star on her forehead. And he was so enchanted with her beauty that he called out and asked if she would like to be his wife.
What?
Right. It's given, pause for the cause, pause for the cause. It is giving Dorian Gray proposing to Sybil and not even knowing her name. He just saw her and was like, "I want you." It's giving that. It's giving Dorian Gray. Y'all check out the picture of Dorian Gray. I've been reading it, and I'll be reading some more after this.
I mean, did I miss something about some passage of time? I thought it was 10 years old.
Scott, this is a book from the olden times where you could just do that.
Okay.
Duh. I don't know how old she is. They didn't say because they don't want nobody to know. Anyway, in reply, she said nothing, but she nodded her head a little. So he climbed the tree in person, carried her down, put her on his horse, and took her home. Didn't ask, I didn't hear consent nowhere in there, but okay, sir, you didn't just kidnap a woman out of tree. Period. That's what we doing. The wedding was celebrated with great splendor and joy, but the bride neither spoke nor laughed. You don't think that's a little weird? We don't think this chick not never laughing, never talking. We just like, whatever, girl, I'm just gonna grab your hand and drag you down this aisle. Okay, whatever. This is what we doing. After they lived happily ever together for a few years, the king's mother, who was a wicked woman, began to slander the young queen. She said to the king, "That woman you brought home is no better than a beggar. Who knows what godless trick she's up to? Even if she's dumb and can't speak, she could laugh once in a while. Everybody or anybody who doesn't laugh has a guilty conscience. I don't know if that's true, but I do agree. Like, girl, why she don't ever talk or laugh? Like, but guilty conscience is it sound like projection. It sound like a little projection to me. Anyway, at first the king refused to believe her, but the old woman kept it up so long and accused her of so many wicked things that the king finally let himself be convinced and condemned her to unaliving.
Oh, okay.
Here is another king doing the wrong thing, just unaliving everybody. And she with him, generational trauma. Father walls. But let's keep on. They made a big fire in the courtyard and they were going to burn her in it. The king stood at the window and looked down with tearful eyes, for he still loved her. But did he really still love her if you gonna let all this happen with not a lick of evidence, honey? Do you really love her, sir? Do y'all think he love her? Sky, you think he love her? She was already tied to the stake, and the fire was licking her clothes with red tongues when the last moment of the 7 years passed. Thank God. Nick of time.
Mm.
A whirring could be heard. 12 ravens came flying through the air and swooping down. And the moment they touched the ground, they became her 12 brothers, for she had saved them. They broke up the fire, put out the flames, and set their dear sister free, hugging and kissing her. And now that she was able to open her mouth and speak, she told the king why she kept silent and never laughed. Okay. The king was glad to hear she was innocent. I mean, sir, was there any other proof of anything otherwise than her being innocent besides your mother-in-law being jealous and lying? Like, was there any other proof, sir? Let me stop interrupting. Let me finish the story, child. And they all lived happily ever after together until they unalived. The wicked stepmother was tried and sentenced and put in a barrel filled with boiling oil and poisonous snakes, and she unalived a cruel death. Good for her.
Okay.
That's the end.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All I gotta say is woo. Woo, 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 woo. Okay. Okay, y'all. That was a lot, right? That was a lot.
It was.
But I am curious to what everybody learned. I'm gonna tell. Well, Scott, what did you learn? What stood out? What was good for you? You guys put in the comment section.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what I'm supposed to have learned from that story. I'm not quite sure.
Okay, you not sure?
I'm not sure.
Okay. I'll go first, and then maybe that'll help you.
Okay.
Okay, so what stood out to me is, again, I think I kept pointing it out throughout the time that I was reading the story. The king, honey, the initial king. So the king created family wounds and started a generational curse. You see, he tried to unalive the kids, then the kids get with people trying to unalive them. You know, it's just a mess. The sons turned that pain into rage because they wanted to, unalive girls. And the daughter spent 7 years cleaning up a mess she did not even start. She did not make the mess because her daddy was the one who did it. Also, did anyone else notice that they never went looking for any of the kids? There were 13 whole children just running outside in the forest, and they was the king and queen was like, well, I guess we ain't got no kids, but we got 12 coffins. Okay. Anyway, Freud would call it unresolved trauma. Game of Thrones would call it Tuesday, and Grimm calls it a happy ending. Okay. But the real curse was not the ravens. It's not this. It's not this here. It was a father teaching his children that one person had to disappear for another to belong. And baby, this is why we unpack these stories after the foolishness. But what are you guys' thoughts? Because Oreo Junior, Scott, and I would love to hear them.
Indeed.
Okay, Scott, we want to hear your thoughts too.
Yeah, I still don't know, so I'm just gonna pitch on to yours.
Okay, Scott said, "Father wounds are us. We got that generational trauma."
Yeah.
Okay, well, hey, what a day. Okay, let me grab Oreo Junior because we are going to end this Fairy Tale Friday. Um, so guys, as always, we hope you guys had a great time hanging out with us because, as always, we had a great time hanging out with you guys. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, check out some other videos, live, shorts, all that fun stuff because this is not just a channel about us on this side of the screen. This is us on both sides of the screen. Period. Period. It's about us. This is our community, our little book club. But with that, we're going to bid you guys adieu. So, from wherever you are, even if you bouncing around in one of 12 coffins, to wherever you guys are, peace and love and happiness. And we'll see you guys later, which means 30 minutes because we almost to the end of this, y'all. Got to finish Dorian Gray. So, I'll see you guys in like 30 or so minutes. Bye.